What's up, brick builders? And today's build is the Cherry Picker set number 42031. The year it came out was 2015. Age group, you're looking at about 7 to 14. A little bit technical. It's got a little bit, quite a few little bits and pieces in it, lots of pins. Then your number of parts, you're looking at 155. That kind of makes up for the small parts. Price per piece is 5p per piece. That's pretty darn good. Cost when it came out in 2015 was £7.99. Current value, if you have one boxed, sealed, mint, 18 to 19 pounds. Not an overly massively great investment, and also used, you're looking at £3 to £4, and that's including if you have the instructions, no box or box is open, that kind of thing. So you can see it's not actually a fantastic investment, but it is a great little set, and it is also at the moment currently on decline in value. Hello, Shaun from BRIT'N Bricks. I was going to move my mic. I'll move it a little bit. Shaun from BRIT'N Bricks. How you doing, folks? Another James Yorke challenge, joined by Shadow Rock, as always. It is a small set. It's a 2-in-1. As you can see there, you got the Cherry Picker and you got the breakdown vehicle by the looks of things. Looks like a breakdown truck. We're doing the Cherry Picker. We're going to be using the instructions online, so we'll move those away. There's the instructions. And so, first of all, let's move them into the playing field, separate the tyres, the wheels. There we go. And make sure the wheels are the actual correct wheels. There'll be the circle and not the cross stud or cross axle. So if it was an axle, those are being held in there quite nicely. As it's a circle, it just drops straight through. So that's for pins. The axles are going to be pins. So we'll start off with a 9 white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 white. And a light bluish grey double connector. It's going to go into the end. Whole facing along the bar. Then we've got 2 tan pins, 2 tan long pins. One is going to go in there. They're going to go short end in first. So it's like that. So it's part 2. And we get our H shape. That's going to come in just after that. And then the big blue pin after that. Short end in first again. Capping it off with another white 9 beam, technic beam. Move my cup out of the way. And mirror image the pins, the tan pins on either side, like so. These give you your axles, I think, because they're frictionless, so they rotate quite nicely. And black 13s, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, perfect. Blue pins, we got space between one and a pin and another pin. Short end in first again. Looks like, I can't really see. The quality of these pictures are not overly that great. I'm thinking that's a 3. It is a 3. Just looking at the instructions. That's a 3 hole space and then a pin, drop your pin. Then we've got the horseshoe, and that's going to go on top of the blue pins like that, and then we've got a space, and then we've got another double connector, hole facing up this time. And then, so we've got those two pieces, and we've got another double connector. There we go. And black pin, that's right, black pin with axle. There we go. That's going to go in one side like so, and then two single connectors with the axle hole facing up like that, and we're going to drop three long axles in those axle holes like that. And then this axle here, or the axle pin, is going to go into the hole like that. Should do. There we go. Nice. And push these through just to secure them in place. Not all the way, just at the end there. Just put your finger, your thumb behind there just to stop them from going all the way through. Then get another wishbone or horseshoe, and this one is going to go on that one there. So it's like that. Then we've got a 1x2 red plate, a special plate with a pinhole, and that is going to go underneath like so. And then we've got a curved plate going over the top like that. 10 pin going into the pinhole. Where's my 10 pin? It's hiding. There it is. Like that, and then that's going to go in the horseshoe wishbone thing like that. So it's frictionless, so it's supposed to move. I think it's going to form the seats in the cab. I've seen very similar designs to this, so we're going to cap that off with another 13 black Technic beam like that. And then on either side at the back here, or at the front here, we got blue pins with axle, so pinhole in, because you can't, well, you could put the axle in but it won't hold, so the axles are sticking out. And then we do another one of these pieces here, so a red 2 special plate with pinhole. There it is. Plate underneath. Then we get the curved plate over there. And then just attach that to the other side of the 10 pin so that you got those. And those, yeah, those are going to represent the seats, I think. That's definitely what it looks like to me. I could be pleasantly surprised though, because it looks like we got a 1x3 plate. So I just finished my tea with some cheese wedges. So yeah, the cheese wedges. A cheese wedge. Quite cool parts, these. I'm seeing these a lot in recent Lego sets that I've been doing. These cheese wedges. They've been in the mystery build as well quite a bit. So that's going to go on the end there. Yeah, that definitely looks like seats to me. What do you think? I think that definitely looks like seats. So this is going to sit. Make sure we got this the right way. So we got the big H shape there. It's going to sit like that, I think. So we're going to have something go in here to secure this part here. Sorry about my text messages coming up. And we got a 4 long axle. So we got 4 long black axle going into a white periscope, Technic periscope. Then we got a black bush, no, light small bushing. It's going in there, and then it's like those telescope things from the beach is next, and then another small bushing, and then followed on by another white periscope like that. And then we got red 1x1 circular trans clear, or trans red, sorry, not trans clear, trans red for what looks like the back bumper. Now, and then it's going to hold that piece in place, like I was saying earlier on, that I thought that might happen. So it's locked it in place, which is cool. Still think those are seats. Right, 2-hole long connector with small pin with stud on the end. So it's going to go in the end hole there, and then we've got a trans clear 1x1 circular plate that's going on the end there. Flip it over. There's a black pin's going to go in the back of it, and we're making 2 of those. Okay. Right. Pin with stud. Trans clear 1x1 circular plate. Flip it over, and black pin. There we go. That's our two lights, I think. So putting this on the model, we've got the trans clear facing down, the black pin facing up, and they're just going to go onto these blue pins with the axles here. Now they do rotate, so if they don't match up, just pop them in when they fit like that, and then just level them out. I think that's the wrong way around, but I think these are going to be headlights. That's what we're going for. So just level them out, because I think these are going to pop up like so. That's how I think that's going to go. Ooh, a little bit of a more technical side of things here. So we got dark bluish grey Mordrum head. I call it a Mordrum head because he looks like Mordrum Solus from Mass Effect. Short pin in, or long pin but short end in first. So it kind of looks like that. Then we've got a small L shape. It's going to go into the headboard, because this is the headboard here, this is the bed. If it was a 7, there's the stick of the 7, there's the top of the 7. If it's an L, same thing with the 7. So with this time it's the bed, so it's at the foot of the bed, headboard. Push it all the way through, get another dark grey Mordrum, pop it on there, and you kind of end up with that looking like that. And then we've got another one of our wishbone horseshoe things, and that's going to go there, and it's going to be held in by a red 1x2. Whoops. Well, it's a too long. Sorry, a one too long red axle is going to go through and hold that in place. And I'm guessing there's going to be another one on the other side. Yep. So we'll pop that on there as well. And then this is going to make sure we get it the right way around, because it's a bit, that picture is a bit dark, but I think it's like that. Let's push down and see. There we go. Flip the seats up. And yeah, that looks like your front grille of your cherry picker. So we're building another one of these bars, which is going to be for the front headlights. This looks like it hasn't had the pin poked through. So as it was shown there, the pin with the stud on the end of it into one end of the white Technic periscopes. You've got a 4 axle. Remember your axles, if you're black, they're in the even numbers. That's the best way to remember it. Although it's not always the case, but for most general time it is. Then we got trans orange 1x1 circular plate going on top of that. We've got bushing. And then we're going to thread it through the front of this axle hole here, and it should hold in place like so. Then we go put another bushing on there, another periscope, and you know, you finish the other side. So we want a bushing. Okay, there we go. Periscope, pin with stud end, trans orange 1x1 circular plate. Put it on the end of the axle. Make sure you're facing the same way as the other one is, and you got your indicators. So your headlights and your indicators and tail lights. Alright, so straight connector, Technic straight connector, where are you? Oh. Yeah, that's a straight connector, 2 pins with the collars. I got a curved connector. I don't want those. I want 2 of those, right angles. Check the bag. There it is. Straight connector with a pinhole and what looks like the angles going in. Have your holes facing the same way. So on the right angles here to the connector. So they're both all in the facing up or down. And then pins with the collars on the ends are going to go on the end of the axle parts, and then these are going to go into the top part of that, push them through. Is that all the way? That's as far as it will go, and that kind of makes the back end of the cab. Five axle, so it's going to be a light grey axle. It's going to drop through there like so. I think that's going to go all the way through, because you've got the H shape there with the axle hole as well. So I'm going to push that all the way through so it's level with the seats for now. It may change. Right angle. Is that a right angle? Yeah, that's a right angle with pin with connector collar like so. And then we've got an angled connector. So it's like that. And we've got black pin with black axle with pin end like that. And then we've got a 5 axle dropping in here. Oh, I see. There's a double connector going on top first, and then the 5 axle is going to drop in there like so. So you kind of got that. On top of that, we're going to have a small connector, axle hole going down the 5 axle there, and then we've got a fire hydrant going on the end here like that. So it's a pretty weird contraption, but I think it's going to be the cab. And then repeat this, the other side. So this one on there. Then we got a blue pin with axle. Putting the axle in first, so the pin's facing out, and then another right angle and a slightly off connector. So the right angle on the front. No, actually, we're going to put these two together first, like that. Pin with collar, just like you done on the other side here, and then just pop them in place. And it's the pin, the blue pin's going to hold them all in place, and you got kind of got the top of the cab, and this is going to drop in on the 5 axle here. That's my guess. So we're going to push these two long pins in, just push them all the way down until they kind of meet with the edge of the model there. It's not going to connect or anything like that. These parts here are what's going to be holding that in there. So then you got a nice little cab, which is really cool, with detailed seats. I like it. I do. I like it. So you're going to drop it down. Oh, okay. So we're going to put some pins, short pins with studs in the ends of these holes here. So that's really clever use. Really clever use. And what you're going to do is you can put orange beacons in there. So that's going to look pretty cool. That's a nice little bit of detail. So pop that in there and pop that in there. Look at that. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. And then we got 4 tires to make up. These are two-way tires, two-way wheels, like most. You got like sports kind of design, and then you got your industrial design. We're going to be using the industrial design. Doesn't matter which way you put the tires and wheels together. as long as you put them on. I mean, you could put them on with the racing wheels. Why not? Why not? But for this, we're gonna go with the normal, and then you go put them on these tan pins here that we were saying that they were axles later on. Push them all the way through, like so. Like that. See, that's what frictionless does. It just makes they're really cool. I learned a lot of simple things while building small Lego sets. Nice little freewheel as well. You know, with like the black pins, the blue pins, that kind of thing. Why they're different colours really helps to tell what kind of thing you're building, whether it's going to have movement or not. So we got a 1-hole Technic plate with 2 axle ends on there. So we're going to call that a 1-hole plate, and then we got 2 4 long axles. Are going to go into the ends like so, and then we've got the arch shape. Pop that in there, push that down, and then we've got 1 yellow, just to keep with the color scheme, bushing. Yellow bushings were a much older color and part in Technic many years ago. Then we got 1 connector facing up along with the arch, and then put the other yellow bushing over that. That side for now. We get the L shape, and we got 2 long red axle. The red axles usually are the 2 long. There are some black 2 long axles, but for the most part, 2 long axles are always red. There are a couple of exceptions that there are some pretty long axles that are red, but they're pretty rare. Then we got a 3 long axle. Just go poke that through, and just poke it through just a slight bit there. And then we're going to take our cab part, join the end of the L onto the last axle there, so it pins onto the back end. And get the H shape. 2 more drums on either side of the H shape. Like that. And then that's going to go on the 3 long axle and the 4 long axle. Push those through like that. Push that axle just slightly out a little bit because I can see it on the picture. Then we've got the 8 long axle, dark bluish grey with stopper on the end. 2 yellow bushings. Push them all the way down to the end of the stopper. Like that. Then we're going to put a screw on the end. Nope, we got the connector first. Now, it's easy to get this messed up. I've done this a few times by putting the axle through this connector, but it's not through the axle hole. It's through the round hole. It's got to spin. Okay, it's got to. I've made this mistake a few times, and I'm like, why isn't this working? On a very simple build. Then we're gonna hold it in place with the other bushing. Then we're going to put the screw. So the screw is an axle hole, so it won't move. But this whole thing's supposed to have that movement. And that's why this has to move, because this is going to hold in place Whereas if you put it on the other one, the whole thing would not move. And yeah, it had me foxed for a while, and then I realised that I'd messed it up. So another bush in, and then this is going to go, take your cab part, it's going to pin. So your axle's going to go through the connector here, like that, and then line this connector up with the red pin and push the red pin through all the way. That's it. So it's nice and smooth there. So you've got a piece peeking out there because you're going to be putting another L shape on the other side, and that holds it in place. But this should rotate. See that? Now if you'd have done what I said beforehand and put the axle hole through on the axle, this would not rotate at all, and it was like, what have I done wrong? Right, L shape, because we're closing off the other side of this cherry picker part here. And then just to secure this in place, pop another bushing on there. Still test it, make sure it rotates. Yep, it's still good. And then we're going to do the arm. So we've got a three-hole technic plate. 1, 2, 3. It's got axles on either side. We're going to drop a red axle in one end, like that. Then we're going to take a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-hole plate, and you're going to drop it in the second hole. So you got a hole space, then it's the pin, because we're going to be dropping a black pin in between these to hold these in place. The black pin, it goes through both plates because it's long enough. Just give it a bit of a wiggle, and you got it in place. And there you go. Now it's secure. And then we're going to put another 3-hole technic plate with 2 red axles. Put your thumb behind the axle hole, pop the axle through. As soon as you feel it on your thumb, stop, because you got that. Same with that. So it doesn't go too far through, and then you kind of have that. And then again, it's going to be a hole, and then the axle. And then we're going to drop another black pin in that hole, like that. And now you've got this kind of solid beam. And we go cap off these with another 7-hole technic plate, like so. And then on the end of this axle here, we have this connector, and it's going to be the hole. It's going to be the hole. It's going to be the stud hole. It's not going to be axle hole, because it's got a kind of swing. And then we're putting put that on there. Take a technic gear, and then we're going to put a 4, which is our last black axle. 4 long axle is going to go through, and then it's going to go into the technic, into the axle hole, not the pin hole. Yeah, that's kind of loose. That's going to get capped off in a minute. So that is, there's no free movement. If you've got free movement, it's going to be in this hole here, so that will be the wrong place. So pop it in there. That thing's going to keep popping off, and it should hold like that, because that's the whole movement part. Hopefully we're capping that. Yes. Thank you. All right, so this is going to be capped off in place so it won't pop off anymore, like that. Push that axle through just a touch, and then we've got another plate going on here. Put the axle, the long axle through first, like that. And then snap those together, line everything up nicely. Set nicely. There we go. And then this will attach to, so making sure you got this facing the right way with the curve going this way to what you got on the instructions there. And then this is going to sit, the axle, this axle here from the gear is going to sit in that top hole there, not the axle hole. If you get it in the axle hole, it will go, but it ain't going to move, right? So drop it down into that axle hole there, and you're also going to have the cog and the screw, the gears and the screw are going to line up. So when you turn this is going to be cool. When you turn this, see that? That's what that does. So test it out, see if that works. If it's good, then it's cool, and then we can cap all the other bits and pieces off. Starting with the arch, line up all the pins, axles, sorry, like that. Now nothing's going to fall apart. You can test it again, have a bit of fun with that. And then we're going to put a one hole plate over in there just to tidy it up, he says. There we go. And you will have something like that. We're going to put a moon gear on the end. So put a moon gear on the end. So that just makes the control a little bit easier instead of gripping the axle. And then we got the cherry picker basket. So got some smaller arches here. Have it facing the way your instructions are saying. So it's kind of like that the curve is towards you. We're dropping a 3-axle into the elbow. And then you're going to put a bushing after that. And then we've got a yellow fire hydrant. And it's going to be going down like that. So it's kind of going down on one of the angles there. It's not going across with the angle, it's going down on that one. So you kind of got that shape there. So it's facing away from you. It's not facing across, it's facing away from you. Then you're going to put bushing on top, just to keep it in place. And then in each of these corners here, we're going to drop a 3-axle. So it's 1, 2. So it's like that. And then I'm going to pop this on, I think. Oh no, okay. So keeping it facing that way. This looks a little bit tricky, but it's not. Using your axle holes, have this one facing so it's towards you, like that. And then this one is just facing across, using the axle holes again. So you got this one facing towards you, and this one facing across. If in doubt, look at the hole. The hole should be facing towards you. And then just double layer them. Like that. I'll put this on there. Just to stop the pins from, or the axles from going through. Like that. What's this piece? Oh, I see, that's coming later, right. And then we put that on the end there. And then this is going to fit on the end of this. So blue pins with axle. The pins are going to go into this smooth connector. And these are friction pins. They do have the friction lines. So they will not spin. It's not supposed to spin. You can spin it. I mean, it does have, but it's not free movement. You know, you have to change it. And then, so it's not gonna it's not gonna work if you have the axle facing out, the axle hole facing out on this connector. It's not going to work, because this is what's going to happen. This is all like center of gravity type thing. So it kind of flops. So what we do, bizarrely enough, you fold it in, keeping your finger in place. Straight end of the basket is at the back, so it's like that. And believe it or not, look at that. There's balance, and that's how you know you got it the right way. So if it's pointing out a little bit, it's just this connector here needs to be folded into the arm, and there you go. And like I say, you can move your basket, and now this will lift up and down, and hopefully it's going to sit on an axle and pivot as well. So we're going to connect it to this axle here that we put in way earlier, like so. And as you can see, it has a bit of free room. There isn't that much room, but it can swing. It can swing around, but it can't go all the way around the back. I mean, you could always try and make a longer wheelbase, and then you could have full 360. But in this case, the beam goes in between the two beacons. And there you go, folks. There's your cherry picker. It's a really cool little set. I like it. It has a little bit of playability. It has quite some cool pieces. 5 pence per piece. It's not a bad deal at all. It's just a shame that it's not in the value anymore. Well, there you go, folks. One cherry picker. This is from the James Yorke Challenge, which is a friend of mine's Lego. He was into Technic. I say he was because he did pass away a few years ago. So we call it the James Yorke Challenge because the challenge is to go through all these sets and make sure they're all complete. And there you go. That's another one of them. There is a Model B to it, so we'll be doing that next time. So if you liked what you see, give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs down. Don't be shy. Leave a comment. We're getting pretty cool comments on our previous videos and stuff. Thank you so much to everybody for that, and thank you so much for everybody on the support channel for 2022. It's 2023 now, so looking for a bigger, brighter future for BRIT'N Bricks. And leave a comment and like and subscribe. I'm Shaun from BRIT'N Bricks. Peace.